Alright, let's dive into this because it's a perfect example of how sports rivalries can turn a simple comment into a full-blown spectacle. So, Purdue's new athletic director, Tommy McClelland, steps up to the mic during his introductory press conference and drops this line: "If you don't want to win championships, go to Indiana." Bold move, right? But here's the thing. Personally, I think this wasn't just a jab. It was a calculated statement designed to rally Purdue's fanbase and set the tone for his tenure. What makes this really interesting is the timing. Football season is just around the corner, and Indiana, their in-state rival, is coming off a college football playoff championship. So, McClelland's comment feels like a mix of bravado and strategy. But let's be real, in my opinion, it's also a bit of a misstep. Indiana's football program has been on a tear lately, outscoring Purdue 122-3 over the last 2 seasons. That's not just a rivalry, that's dominance. So, when McClelland takes a shot like that, it's hard not to see it as a desperate attempt to shift the narrative. What many people don't realize is that these kinds of comments often say more about the person making them than the target. It's like, if you're that confident in your program, why do you need to take a swipe at the competition? This raises a deeper question. Are these kinds of statements actually effective, or do they just come off as petty? From my perspective, it's a risky move, especially when your own program isn't exactly in a position to talk trash. Now, if we're talking basketball, the story flips. Purdue's men's basketball team has been a powerhouse under Matt Painter, while Indiana has struggled to find consistency. So, if McClelland's comment was about basketball, it would have landed differently. But football? That's Indiana's territory right now. A detail I find fascinating is how these rivalries evolve over time. Just a few years ago, Purdue had the upper hand in football, winning 5 of 6 against Indiana. Fast forward to today, and the roles are reversed. It's a reminder that in sports, nothing is permanent. What this really suggests is that McClelland might be trying to reignite a rivalry that's already tilted heavily in Indiana's favor. Is that smart? Personally, I think it's a gamble. On one hand, it fires up your fanbase. On the other, it gives your rival more ammunition if they keep dominating. One thing that immediately stands out is how these comments always blow up on social media. It's free publicity, sure, but it's also a double-edged sword. If Purdue's football team doesn't turn things around, McClelland's words will come back to haunt him. If you take a step back and think about it, this is bigger than just a rivalry. It's about the pressure new athletic directors face to make an impact. McClelland is stepping into a role where his predecessors stayed for decades, and Purdue's revenue is lagging in the Big Ten. So, he needs to make bold moves to shake things up. This comment? It's part of that strategy. But here's the thing. In my opinion, the real test isn't the trash talk, it's whether he can actually deliver on the promise of winning championships. Purdue's football program has potential, with a loyal fanbase and a recent Big Ten championship game appearance. But turning potential into results? That's where the rubber meets the road. What makes this story even more intriguing is the broader context of college sports. With the rise of nil deals and conference realignment, every program is fighting for relevance. McClelland's comment isn't just about Indiana, it's about positioning Purdue in a crowded field. So, is this a smart play or a risky gamble? Personally, I think it's a bit of both. It's smart because it grabs attention, but it's risky because it sets a high bar. If Purdue's football team doesn't improve, this comment will be remembered for all the wrong reasons. But if they do turn things around, McClelland will look like a genius. Either way, it's a fascinating start to his tenure. What do you guys think? Was this a bold move or a misstep? Let me know in the comments. And if you take a step back and think about it, this is just the beginning of what's sure to be a wild ride for Purdue athletics. Let's see how it plays out.